Welcome to your February 2022 horoscope. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be covering the major transits for the month ahead using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I strongly recommend that you watch your horoscope for your ascendant sign first and foremost, and that is because the ascendant sign will be the most accurate for you overall, generally speaking. Having said that, the sun sign horoscope will tell you more about your life goals and your career, whereas the moon sign horoscope will pertain more to your family and your living circumstances. So if you've got time to watch all three, go for it. Now, lastly, before I get into your horoscope, I just wanted to let you know that I still have my 2022 yearly horoscopes available for purchase, so I will leave a link in the description box below. And now let's get into your horoscope. Hi Libra Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your February 2022 horoscope. Before I get into your reading today, I just wanted to pull an animal spirit totem card just to see what energies will be with you for the month ahead. And we've got the turtle. So obviously turtles are born on land, but then they do this dash into the sea. So this tells me that you are trying to transition from a certain set of circumstances that you're in. On one level, this could be a transition with your career or with a creative project, or perhaps you're trying to exit one relationship and start afresh. So let's just keep this in mind for now, but just remember that turtles are beautiful creatures which have hard shells that they can retreat into. So this may be a question of, are you retreating too much into your shell? And is it time to come out and showcase your talents and creative gifts? Now, on the 1st of February, we will see a new moon in Aquarius take place at 12 degrees in your 5th house, and it will be in a close conjunction with Saturn at 15 degrees. This new moon will actually be making a square to Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house at nearly 11 degrees. So I find it interesting that both Saturn and Uranus are the rulers of Aquarius, and they're both heavily involved with this new moon. New moons indicate a new chapter taking place somewhere in our lives. Given that this new moon is conjunct Saturn and it's occurring in your 5th house, a certain commitment is required of you at this time. For those of you who have a hobby or something that you're very passionate about, this new moon in your 5th house can see you turning this hobby into a business venture, or you could get really serious about honing a certain creative gift or talent of yours. The 5th house is also connected to authorship, so perhaps some of you Librans are looking at authoring a new novel. Now, the 5th house is connected to love and romance. So on one level, some of you may be committing to a relationship in a more serious capacity. So this could be becoming exclusive with your significant other, or perhaps you're getting into a romance where there is a significant age gap. Now, this square to Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house, and with Uranus ruling over your 5th house, this basically just indicates that although you are taking either romance, your hobbies, your passions, or a business of yours really seriously, there's going to be some sort of unexpected happening or development which occurs around the 1st of the month. Now, given that the 5th house is connected to owning your own business, on one hand, some of you may be launching a new business, or you may be launching new products or services, and you could be really taking a gamble here on this commitment. And I'm saying that because the 5th house is connected to gambling, and the square to Uranus in your 8th house indicates that there is something really unexpected about this new direction that you are taking your business in. Now, lastly, with this new moon in your 5th house, there may be a 1 month, 6 month, or 18-month period, depending on your personal circumstances, where you are sacrificing fun, frivolity, and maybe going on vacations or going to parties and socializing in order to really knuckle down with this new commitment. And again, this could be connected to your hobbies, your passions, starting a new business, or for some of you, it could be because you're having to help out your child, or perhaps you have recently become a new parent or had another child, and your parenting responsibilities are basically just meaning that you're not really having the time to go out and party or to focus on your hobbies and passions. And for some of you on the romance front, maybe your parenting responsibilities, for those of you who are single parents, mean that you can't really go out and date. And of course, for those of you who are single, you may be actually committing to being a celibate for a period of time, or you could just be taking a break from dating. Now, on the 9th of February, we are going to see Mars in Capricorn in your 4th house, making a trine to Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house. The 4th house represents your family life and your property and living circumstances. And trine aspects are very, very helpful and beneficial. So given that Mars is making a trine to Uranus in your 8th house, this indicates that something is going to go right, something is going to go your way, and it's going to be unexpected. So for some of you, someone that you dislike could simply be moving out of your home, and this could happen very abruptly. Maybe this person had no intention of moving out, or maybe they suddenly can't afford the rent where you are currently living and now they need to leave. And this could be a family member as well. It doesn't just need to be a flatmate. On a different level, with Uranus in your 8th house and with the 8th house being connected to debts and taxes, perhaps you received some sort of financial penalty and this is being waived, or perhaps you have somehow managed to avoid some sort of tax. Now, you could be receiving help with your property or with your home. So perhaps someone is helping you out around the house. Maybe they are helping you with some sort of service. And I'm saying that because Mars represents problem solving. And also with Mars ruling over your 7th house, which represents engaging the services of another person and also your one-on-one personal relationships. Maybe someone is helping you out for free, or perhaps you employed the services of a tradesperson and they're just doing a little extra on the side and they're not charging you with anything. Another way that this transit could play out is that you could be receiving help to relocate into a new property, or you could receive new technology or equipment that is heavily discounted or that may even be for free. Lastly, with this transit, the 4th house represents your psychological foundations. So you could suddenly be liberated from a painful memory or experience that you had in your childhood, or this could even be something which is quite deep-seated and buried beneath the surface, and somehow you just go through this period of becoming lighter and letting go of this burden. And this could certainly be with regard to a family member. So perhaps an issue that you have with a family member suddenly dissipates or dissolves itself. Now on the 11th/12th of February, depending where you live in the world, we are going to see Mercury in Capricorn forming a conjunction with Pluto in your 4th house at 27 degrees. This will be the 3rd and final time that Mercury and Pluto form a conjunction in this 2-month period of time. And I'm saying that because the first conjunction was at the end of December in 2021, and the second conjunction was at the end of January in 2022. So given that this is occurring in your 4th house, and with Mercury being the planet of communication, you could be having a deep and intense conversation or an epiphany or some sort of realization when it comes to your family life, or this could be a conversation that you have with a family member, or it could be with a flatmate as well. So this conversation or this realization that you're having could be about your family, your heritage, your lineage, or it could be about some psychological issues that you are experiencing. Another way that this transit can play out is that you may discover a secret about someone in your family, or it could be to do with an ancestor of yours, or you could discover some sort of hidden or lost documents or paperwork in the home or in the residence that you are living in. Now, lastly, this can indicate that you may have some sort of supernatural or paranormal experience at the residence that you're living in. Now, with Mercury ruling over your 12th house, which is connected to spirituality and the other side, and with Mercury ruling over your 9th house, which represents your connection to spirit or God or your religious or spiritual beliefs, I do not see this as a negative thing at all. So I don't want you guys to freak out. I see this as your mentality and your perspective somehow being expanded by this sort of spooky or supernatural experience that you have within your home. Now, on the 16th of February, we are going to see a full moon in Leo take place at 27 degrees in your 11th house, and it will be making an exact in conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn in your 4th house. Full moons represent the ending of a chapter taking place somewhere in our lives, or it can basically indicate that a situation has reached its peak. So with this occurring in your 11th house, many of you Libras will be achieving some type of long-term goal or dream that you've had for a long time, or you could be coming into the spotlight for some reason. Now, because of this in conjunction to Pluto in your 4th house, this ending of a chapter or this positive experience that you have around this time could be juxtaposed by some sort of unrelated situation that is taking place within your home life. So maybe this is taking a little bit of the shine off of some sort of achievement that you are experiencing, and maybe your family don't really approve. So just an example of how this could play out is that maybe you are receiving an award or a prize for something that is very, very important to you, and maybe your family just aren't really into this. Maybe they just have very, very different beliefs to you. So another way that this can play out is that you may receive some sort of benefit from a passive income. So maybe you're receiving a lump sum of money, you could receive prize money or rent money or royalties or dividends. And due to this in conjunction with Pluto in your 4th house, maybe you're having to put some of your earnings or your prize money towards helping your family, or you could have to put it towards your rent money, your mortgage, or to improve your living standards or your living circumstances. So essentially, in conjunctions are 150-degree aspects, and they are not considered to be a major aspect. However, because this is exact at 27 degrees, I wanted to mention it. Essentially, in conjunctions can create some sort of diversion or distraction, or it can even cause some kind of confusion within a situation. So that's why I'm saying that you're achieving a goal on one hand, but then there's some sort of disturbance within the family home or within your living circumstances, which is just sort of like unrelated to the situation, and it's just sort of detracting from the joy of the moment. Now, this could see you actually leaving a group or a community or like your friendship circle, and maybe this decision is the right one. You know, you could feel it really, really deep down that you should be doing this, but then emotionally you feel off about the decision, or someone that you live with, whether it is a flatmate, a friend, or a family member, could basically be saying, are you sure you want to do this? And they could just be getting in your head a little bit. Now, on the 16th/17th of February, depending where you live in the world, we are going to see Venus and Mars form a conjunction at 16 degrees in your 4th house. Obviously, there's a lot of activity going on in your 4th house during February, and essentially, this indicates a new chapter starting. So it's kind of similar to new moon energy, and that is because conjunctions represent something new taking place. So on the property front, this could be you leasing a new home, purchasing a new home, relocating from where you currently are, or purchasing an investment property or a piece of land. Now, you could be working with an architect to design your new home. And I'm saying that because Venus is the planet of design and Mars rules over your 7th house, which indicates that you could be engaging the services of another person. Or perhaps you and your partner or your significant other are designing a new home together. With Venus ruling over your 8th house and with the 8th house representing mutual resources, you could actually be inheriting a property, or you could be receiving financial help to make your property dream a reality. On a totally different note, maybe you're just putting a new garden in or a new shed or a garage. And I'm saying that because Venus is connected to gardening, Mars rules over your 2nd house, which is also connected to gardening, and the 2nd house represents something that we store. So, like I said, garage, shed, or some sort of storage unit could be implemented into your home. Now, this could be changes to your home environment. Someone could be moving in with you, or you could simply be purchasing valuables or possessions from your home, and the most obvious example would be furniture. Lastly, with the 4th house representing your family life, this could be you and your significant other deciding that you want to start a family, or you could be making some very important decisions within your family with regard to your mutual resources and your finances. And of course, the 4th house is connected to your psychological foundations, and with Venus ruling over your 8th house, which represents psychology and also anything to do with the occult, and with Mars ruling over your 7th house, which represents a one-to-one service or exchange, you could be engaging the services of a psychologist, an astrologer, or a tarot reader. And yes, I do offer personalized astrology and tarot readings. Now, lastly for the month, on the 24th/25th of February, depending where you live in the world, Mercury in Aquarius in your 5th house will square Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house. Square aspects basically pose some sort of challenge or conflict or a feeling of inner tension. So this could see you having a disagreement or an argument with your romantic partner or with your child, as represented by the 5th house, and this could be about your mutual resources, and this is indicated by Uranus in the 8th house. So if it's with your child, perhaps you're arguing about pocket money or about how much they're spending on certain things, and if it's with your significant other, this could be about combining resources together, or it could even be about your worldviews, or perhaps your child or your significant other are acting in a very erratic way, and so this could see you butting heads with this person. Now, before I continue explaining this aspect, I just want you to know that around the 24th and 25th of February, we are also going to see Mars in Capricorn sextiling Neptune in Pisces, Venus in Capricorn will also sextile Neptune, and Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Chiron in Aries. So there is a lot of supportive energy around this period of time. So I have no doubt that you will be able to resolve these disagreements and basically bury the hatchet and let things go. But continuing on with Mercury in Aquarius, square Uranus in Taurus, this could see those of you who own your own business having to borrow money, take out a loan, or perhaps there is some sort of investment that is required of you, and this could require you to actually consult someone with whom you have mutual resources with, whether this is a romantic partner or anyone in your life who you have a joint bank account with. Now, on a different level, the 5th house rules over vacations, trips, and parties, so maybe you're having to make some changes to your travel plans. And this is emphasized by the fact that Mercury rules over your 9th house, which is Gemini, and the 9th house is connected to international travel. Mercury also rules over your 12th house, which represents spiritual retreats. It is also connected to international travel to faraway places. So some of you could just be making changes to your travel plans, or if you've been planning an event or a party, you may need to make some changes here, and there could be something which just crops up unexpectedly that you need to deal with thanks to the square to Uranus. Lastly, with the 5th house being connected to your hobbies and passions, maybe you're wanting to start something new, whether this is joining a new sporting team or basically just indulging in your creative projects and pursuits. And maybe with this square to Uranus in your 8th house, you're not able to pursue this at this time, or you need to make adjustments to your plans. And so Libra, that's all I have for you for February 2022. If you'd like to purchase your 2022 yearly horoscope, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description box below. Enjoy your month ahead, and I will see you guys next time.